Asria is a character in 8 Marbles 2X who is a dragon that looks more like a fish. She is a heavy diver character with a weird okazeme, good mix-ups, moves that tend to end in hard knockdowns, and has strong options on both ground and air. When you play with her, you'll be rather offensive due to this fact, and in this guide I'll show you how to basically use her, or at least the way I use her. Feel free to make up combos of your own if you need to, but I'll be covering what I know about her. I'll be using the notation for this guide, but I'll also be putting the attacks in simple input at the side alongside the notation for those kinds of people. Links for if you want to learn the notation in the description. To learn how to play Asria, we'll be going over the basics in terms of attacks. So we'll start with standing attacks. Asria's 5A is a fast kick attack with literally only one frame of start up, which makes it a good base attack. It is mainly used to set up for combos and can combo into itself 3 times. Her 5B is a tail whip attack with some good reach and isn't really used much other than just being used after 5A has been used for a combo. And to round it off, her 5C is a stabbing tail attack with some good range. Again, just like her 5B, it's not really used outside of her 5A, 5B, 5C combo. Now to move on to crouching attacks. Asria's 2A is exactly the same as its standing counterpart, except it hits low, so you can use both for mix-ups to try confuse the enemy. 2B is the exact same as 5B, but again, low. Use this for combo mix-ups just like 2A. 2C is like 5C, but has long reach. It also is really good because it causes a hard knockdown upon hit, but this can be wake up tech really quickly. For aerials now. Asria's JA is an overhead attack, meaning it needs to be blocked high. You can dash then hit this for maximum damage, and you can use this for an air to air, but in my opinion there's much better options for her. Her JB is an overhead basic attack that you'll mostly be trying to use for her air to airs than JC, as it comes out faster than JC. It does more damage than JA. JC is your go-to overhead attack, but it can lose some air to airs. Now we're moving on to specials. Asria's 236A is a short forward dash, which essentially is a 6 ticking attack. It's not recommended to throw this out of nowhere because if you miss, you leave yourself open to basically get massacred. There's also the 236B and C variants, which are just basically the same attack, but B goes a little bit further and C is able to cover the stage. Asria's 214A makes her do a short hop, which falls into an overhead tail whip. Despite me saying overhead, this can actually hit anyone that's crouch blocking, which is quite strange. And this is also the case with the B variant as well. Due to the short range, I don't really see much use cases with this variation move. It's best that you avoid this one, to be honest. 214B is the version move that you should actually use, as it lets you to at least distance yourself before you do it. So when you use it, actually, like, the attack frames can actually kick in before you actually approach the enemy, which makes it much better than 214A. Asria's 236A in mid-air makes her do a dive attack that when it hits leads into an attack that does low ticking damage overall, but it has a lot of priority, which makes it to being your go-to air to air if you choose not to use JB or JC. It can also be used as an aerial combat ender, but we'll get to that later. The B and C variants change a little, other than how B goes a little bit further and C goes a little bit, and C can go much more further. Asria's 236A does an uppercut which sends the enemy into the air, which can then lead into 236A, B or C as a combo ender, or leads into a super. Not much to talk about this attack, other than it can be kind of used as an okazeme tool. I mean, I've got it to work, but I don't think that's how it's intended to be used. The B variant is the version that you'll be mostly using, as most for these air combos or combo enters into supers, it goes much higher, giving you much more leniency to either input 236A, B or C, or 236, 236C. The C variant can be used for that purpose as well, but I'd best try to avoid it, as it makes you an open target if you miss, and also it sends you further out if you do miss as well. Now moving on to her supers. Asria really only has two supers, her ground one and her aerial one. Both are done by the input of 236 236C. Both of her supers have high ticking ratio. However, the ground version of Asria's super is much stronger than her aerial version. These are her strongest moves yet, but it's best that you don't throw this out, as it is very obvious when they're activated, as indicated with the background darkening and the obvious flash. So mainly stick these into your combos as enders. With the ground version, it can be devastating on enemies when used correctly, but it's much harder to hit on characters with a high block ratio, such as Tepit or Okra. Now that we move on to combos, these combos that I'm going to show you are ones that I've found out in my spare time. If you want to experiment more with Asria, you can if you want. But for an easy combo with her, it's 5A, 5B, 5C, which is a very easy combo. It's basically your base combo. It's base for all of the combos that you're probably going to be doing with her, to be honest. And it also gets the basic damage done as well. Starting with combos on the ground, you've got 5A, 5B, 5C, 214C, which causes a hard knockdown, which can also lead to OKs, such as her 236, which is her 623A or B, and it can also do good damage. You could also use, in the end of this, you can add 236, 236C if you want to use a super and do massive amounts of damage. Asria's 5A, 5A, 2A, 2B, 2C, 623B, 336C is a really good combo as well. It allows you to self into super as well. You could probably do a 236, 236C. Her J, JB, 5A, 5A, 5B, 5C, 236C, 236, 236C is also a really good move. It's very similar to the other combo, but this time you can do another 5A and it can combo into a super. Great damage output, but you need 3 bars of super to actually achieve this one. For an aerial attack you can use J, JB, 5A, 5A, 5B, 2C, 236C, J236C, 236, 236C. Just like the previous combo, this one gives it high damage output, and also it takes 3 bars of super to actually achieve as well. Now moving on to basic matchup against Asria. Asria is a heavy diver character, which relies on her basically getting close and having strong air-to-airs. So if you're using a character like the projectiles, you can stop her from diving in on you by leaving a few traps, which can force her from playing very aggressively or interrupt her combos. Or if you're someone like Colon, you could probably use that ground move, which can interrupt her combos in that regard as well. However, if she manages to either close this distance or you're playing a character that also needs to be close, all I can really say, and something that you can really say for all the characters, is anticipate her moves and try to counter it. If she does her 236 A, B or C, you've basically given a free ticket to actually counter that. If she does 623C, then counter it with either an air-to-air or just like a really good ground attack. Be ready to be in the defensive for half the game though, because her entire playstyle is to be very aggressive and dive onto you. In conclusion, with Asria, expect to be on the offensive a lot. She really benefits from catching the opponent with their pants down, literally. If an encounter is in the air, just 236 A, B or C and watch the enemy cry as you basically just win every air encounter like 9 out of 10 times. Unless your opponent is Hyukyo, then in that case, prepare to cry as her boxers basically got more priority than yours. Asria is quite a basic character with many options in both not only her moveset, but also in choices of combos, which makes her really interesting and fun to play. I thank you for watching this guide on Asria, and I hope that you're more interested in either playing her, or if you already play her like me, then you gain a new understanding of how she works.
A huge thanks to our guest Silverty for this great guide on Asria. And if you are interested in this niche fighting game, then stick around as the tournament is on its way very soon. I'll see you then.